The first card you have, you pass the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, there's a feeling of insecurity here. And I think you've had that for a while. I hate to get on straight away to something negative, but that's kind of what I'm feeling there. It doesn't feel like emotional insecurity. It doesn't feel like love insecurity. It doesn't feel like that. It's, obviously this is the money card. So I think the trigger did come from a relationship, but I think a relationship breakdown or something like that. But I think this was about finances because of this money card. So I think it was more a financial breakdown that came from a relationship breakdown, if that makes sense. So it's like, I think there was some kind of big incident and it triggered this insecurity. That's what I'm seeing. It's a bit like this terrible thing happened and it took your insecurity, took your security away, not your insecurity, made you feel insecure. And it's like, it feels like someone's pulled a rug out from under you. And, you just felt suddenly totally different. It was like you were one way going along and then suddenly it was completely different. And I think since that time that happened to you, it was a big, big turning point in your life. You've built up a lot for yourself. You've built things up. You're a trier. You try lots of things. You think, let's try that. Let's try this. What can I do? You don't sit there and say, oh, poor me. Yes, it did hurt. It was horrible, horrible time. But you try different things. You say, what can I do? Maybe I could do this. And you try things and you found something that fit, I think. You found something that paid off for you. And I think you're in a better position now than you were then, definitely. I'm not saying you're a great big millionaire. Maybe you are. I hope you are. But yeah, things are better than they were. They feel better than they used to. I think what this has taught you is that you can stand on your own. You can be self-reliant, more than self-reliant. And I think sometimes when people come into your life, certain people, and they want to kind of say, well, let's do this. You do this and you do that and you put that over. You start saying, no, don't tell me what to do. I'm self-reliant. I don't like that feeling of you telling me or even suggesting things sometimes. It really gets my back up. That's kind of what I'm getting. So I also think that initial feeling of, oh, what am I going to do? When you first had that panic, I think some of that might have stayed with you as well. And that can be a good thing. It means that you keep on pushing yourself, which is a good thing. But it's not a good feeling to carry around with you because I think you kind of push and push and push because you feel like what I do isn't enough. I do this, I do that, I work all these hours, I do all these things. It just doesn't feel enough. I feel as if I have to keep on doing more and more. That's what I'm getting. So if that resonates, I wish I could take that feeling away from you, but I can't do that. But just recognize, how far you've come. You've come really far. Things are a lot better than how they used to be. And I know this sounds cringy, but congratulate yourself. You don't have to be feeling on edge all the time either. Try and get a little bit of rest, ease up, don't do so much, do less hours, give something for someone else to do if you can. Think of all of that, because I think when you ease up and when you stop, it makes you feel uncomfortable. That's what I'm getting, because you want to keep going, because you're worried that you'll be in that position again. That's what I'm seeing. The thing is, what you do have now, you've earned yourself, and you're the caretaker of that yourself. No one can take that away from you. Because what happened in the past was, I think someone literally took things from you at one time. They can't do that now. No one can do that now. So just remember that. Just remember all of that. You're not in that position. You're in a different position now. Okay, so the next card you have, you pass the Hanged Man. Yeah, someone was dishonest. Someone was dishonest with you. That's what I'm seeing. Maybe this person took things from you. And I think that's why, or partially why, you have this kind of insecure feeling there, because someone was dishonest. This man has his hands behind his back. He looks like he's hiding something. And yeah, because he's upside down, it makes me think of opposites, the opposite of the way things should be. So I think even before they left, well before they left actually, they had you thinking that they were one way, or they were thinking one way, they were feeling one way, and actually the way they were thinking and the way they felt was the complete opposite, upside down of the way it actually was. And that's really, really, really hard. That's really bewildering. If you're with someone all the time, you know, if you live with them and they're there every day for years or for a long, long time, you talk to them every single day, you tell them all your things, lots of personal things, and then suddenly you realise they're not who you think they are. That's very, very difficult, very hard to get your head around. I've got to say this is what I'm seeing. I think they've had to go back to the start again, actually, and this is financial, this is money. There's something they've lost. I don't know if it's a business, it's something like that. They're not hugely struggling. It's not like they're kind of really, really struggling, but things aren't as good as they were for them. And what I'm seeing is little details, things they missed. It's almost as if they think they're above the details. I'm better than that. I don't have to think about that. And they thought all these little details weren't important. That's what I'm seeing, but they were important, absolutely were. It might be something like taxes, because that's the kind of thing it is, because I'm seeing business, I'm seeing money, I'm seeing details, and I'm seeing forgetting or not doing little things, and that's what that's all about. So adding up things, and so yeah, they couldn't keep on top of things. And, you know, they had to keep on top of these little things to avoid these big problems. And they didn't do that. So they had these big problems. So, yeah, it's like they left you in a really bad situation. But just looking at the way things are now and looking at this man who's turned upside down, you're probably better off than them now in a lot of ways. So everything's turned upside down in the opposite way. And they don't know this. They don't know this, but they'd be surprised if they did know this, actually. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, the last card you have, you pass the 10 of Wands. Yes, again, this is how you think you should be. This is how you feel you need to be all the time. That's what I'm getting all over this so far. You know, you can ease up a bit. You don't have to act on that feeling of, oh, this could all go tomorrow. I could lose everything. Oh, the same thing might happen again. You know, you can ease up. You don't have to feel like this. You don't have to do this. You don't have to work all hours just in case something goes wrong again. Of course, build up your savings. Give yourself a safety net. I think you've already done that, or you're doing that. You know, because the 10 of Pentacles can be about that as well. But from what I'm seeing here, things aren't bad. They're actually okay. So you can afford to calm down a bit. And if you feel as if you can't, okay, build up some more savings, but then do it, please. Take a rest, or at least don't work such crazy hours or stress so much. It's very, very stressful. I'm really feeling this stress. Okay, so the last card you have, your presence, the 8 of Wands. Okay, there are a few different things here. Okay, I'm seeing traveling. I think you did some travelling at one time, and I think maybe it didn't go quite as well as you wanted, or maybe it wasn't what you expected. Don't discount travelling again. Don't because you have a bad feeling around that. Don't get that bad feeling around what happened. Something happened when you travelled, and it wasn't good. It was like, this wasn't what I wanted. This wasn't what I expected. Maybe you had a fight with someone. Maybe you had a horrible thing happen. Okay, so there's a new opportunity coming up, and there is some travel attached to that. And I don't want you to judge that by what happened to you before, because I think this is a really good opportunity. I think this is going to be really positive, really enjoyable, very, very good. What happened at that time is very, very separate from this. So don't judge all of that. Don't judge that place you went to by that time. Don't judge, you know, going back there to that time and all of that, because that's completely separate. I think that's what this is telling you. So if this resonates, I think you need to absolutely say yes to this if it comes along. And from what I'm seeing here as well, you know, looking at the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles and all of that stress you have, you need to get away anyway. You need to do something different. So that's an opportunity for you to do that. And it is something to do with work, I think. So you're not going to have to stop work, because I know that stresses you as well. It's very, very, very good. But don't discount it because of your feelings, because of negative experiences or negative energy from your past. That's what I'm seeing. The other thing is, okay, I don't know if you're going to be happy with this or not. There are a lot of mixed feelings here. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. I think someone's been holding back for a long, long, long time. I think someone's been wanting to say something to you, meaning to say something to you, really wanting to. There's love here. I don't think this is about this ex that I was seeing in the Ten of Pentacles. This is someone else, probably a different ex. Or someone that was connected to you romantically in some way. They're going to come in and they're going to communicate, and it's going to be very, very fast. It's going to be sudden. And you're going to be really surprised when you get this sort of like, oh, okay. There's some kind of miscommunication here as well. I think there was a situation you're in with this person and someone misread a situation or something. If you look at these wands, they're flying over this house. There's a little house in the bottom. They're kind of flying over and they're missing the house. It's like they're going to land somewhere, but not on the house. I'm seeing money around this as well. There's money everywhere here in this reading. I don't know why, but I'm seeing that. It feels like, when you're around them, this is what I'm getting. You always had this little question mark as to whether they were with you for you or not. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, are they there for me, or are they there for what they can get or what I can give them? That's what I'm getting. The big thing I'm seeing here is, though, that they feel as if you misread them. They feel as if they need to explain what happened to you. They need to explain this, like you misunderstood them, you misread them, and they want to kind of make that right again. That's what I'm seeing. And it's been playing on their mind for a long, long, long time. They've tried to sit on this. They've tried not to say anything. But now I think it's just going to come out. They can't keep quiet anymore. There's a big outburst of communication. That's what I'm seeing. And when I look at these wands, I'm not seeing loads and loads of text. Like you would think that was lots and lots of little text. And sometimes I do see that when I see that card, but I'm not seeing that this time. I'm actually seeing a big sea of writing, paragraphs, something like that. So it might be an email. It's really well thought out. A lot of thoughts going into this. So I'm getting this feeling of being really taken aback. It's like you see this great big sea of text and you say, oh, what do I do? Oh, I'm really shaken. I'm really taken aback. I kind of don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel. That's what I'm getting. So if you feel like that, take your time. Think about this really, really carefully. Definitely follow your instincts as well. You just think, what are they actually saying? You know, they're saying this, but what are they actually saying? How does this make me feel? Do I feel uneasy? Do I feel good about this? How do I feel about this? Take all the time you need, because I think this is going to have you in a lot of turmoil, actually, emotionally. So definitely take care of yourself, take your time, and think of yourself first. Put yourself first. Think, how do I feel? How do I want to be? Do I want this or not? That's what you've got to do, I think. Okay, the next card you have your presence, the Star. Yeah, sometimes this can be about being watched, being admired. Because if you look at the perspective on this card, from where we're looking at this woman, it almost looks as if we're slightly above her and we're kind of looking down. So it's a bit like she's being spied on or something. It's not bad, but it's kind of like, I don't know if you have a platform, maybe on here or something, or on social media, maybe they're watching you on that. It's like they're watching you from far away. And I don't think you've realised that, because this woman's just doing her own thing. She's by herself. And also I'm getting this feeling that, they're scared you're going to reject them as well. So they've been holding back for that feeling, because of that as well, I'm trying to say. So yeah, there are a lot of different reasons why they've taken so long to contact you, but now they're not going to be able to stop themselves. They're not going to be able to stop themselves. They're just going to come in and say this thing, send you this email or whatever this is. The other thing is, I think there's a bit of a difference between you in terms of where you are in the stages that you're at in your lives, especially in, financially in jobs. And I think that was why I was seeing money around this in the Eight of Wands, because I was seeing money then. Money differences, money problems. If you look at this this beautiful woman, she has one foot in the water and one on the earth. So I think you struggle to balance love, relationship with money, earth. So there's that as well. So I think if you do decide to connect again, there's going to be a little bit of a hangover over old problems that you had around money, finances, jobs, things like that, differences in where you are and where they are or something like that, different levels. I'm seeing that. So so that's got to be worked on, I think, if you're going to get together again or connect again. I don't know if you are or you're not, but if you do, that has to happen. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Six of Pentacles. It's everywhere. This whole reading has been about money imbalances, problems around that, balancing love and money, all of that kind of thing. It's everywhere. So again, this is just going to be quite a big issue between you if you do decide to start talking again or whatever. Look at the way this man's dressed. This man's the man that's standing up. I think there was always a lot of passion between you, which is a good thing, of course. But what this is telling me is, if you start talking to them again, if you start talking again, you're going to have to put the passion aside, I think, for a while until you've sorted this all out. Because I think if you jump back into the passion again, if you jump right in again without talking properly, I think you'll probably fall back into the same problems again that you had before. So you've got to kind of put that aside until you've sorted things out. It's very easy to just fall back into passion again, especially when you reunite with someone. But I think you've got to put that aside to start with and have these conversations. If you look at this man, I'll just lift it up so you can see. So he's got yellow boots and all his other clothes are red. So if you start right at the beginning with them again, right at the bottom where this man's boots are, you're going to have these conversations before you get to the passion, because yellow can symbolize intellect, communication and all of that. So you've got to start with that right at the bottom first before you move up towards his clothes, toward the red, toward the passion. That's what I'm seeing in that card. You've got to gradually grow out of those conversations into the passion this time. I think it's going to have to be the opposite of the way things were before, because I think you started off quite passionately before. That's what I'm seeing. So this time it has to be the opposite. So that's just what I'm seeing in that card. And your emotions are going to feel quite shaken for a while as well, because I'm just looking at this Eight of Wands again, and it looks a little bit like, I don't know if you've ever played that game as a child, pick up sticks, when you have to pick up a stick without messing the others up. And you shake all the sticks up and you kind of throw them out. That's how I'm seeing these wands. So it's like, that's how you're going to be feeling. You're going to get this email and you're going to feel like, oh, my emotions are a bit shaken. I'm not sure what to do. It's a bit like that. But take your time. Absolutely take your time. Okay, the first card you have, you features the Two of Swords. Yes, okay, so here's someone else coming back. You have a few people coming back to you. This is the reading of coming back. Money and coming back. Okay, so someone else wants to come back. It feels like a relative. It really feels like a relative to me. And obviously there's some conflict here with these two swords. Some kind of clash. I think there are a lot of clashes between you actually in your past. Lots of rockiness. Look at the rocks behind this woman. I'm also getting this feeling that they might have talked to people or they've chatted about you. Maybe they gave people the wrong impression of you, something like that at one time. So you've got lots of mixed feelings about this person, I think, especially if this is family, because it feels like I should do this, I should forgive them, I should be close to them because they're family. That's what I'm getting. I think you have given them a few chances. So maybe this is just another one of these take your time, wait and see kind of things. They might actually want a place to stay. I just saw that, so they might ask that. if they can stay with you. What I'm seeing all over this is, all over this whole reading actually, it's these issues with making sure that people want to be around you for you, not for what you can give them. So I think you're going to have to, I think you're going to be grappling with that as well, kind of battling that as well with this person. I still think you'd help them. I still think you'd help this person if they're in a bad situation. There's still this hesitation. I can see why that's there, but I actually think deep down you'd help them. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the next card you have for your future is the Ten of Cups. Yes, family. I think they're family. They're definitely some kind of family member. That's what I keep on seeing. And I think they feel as if no matter what happens, no matter what they do, you'll always be there for them. And I actually think they're right up to a point. You know, you do have this underlying sense of love, care for them and all of that. It's just there. It's really, really strong actually. You know, it's a troubled relationship, but there's an underlying love and care there. I don't know if this is your child or your sibling, but it's very, very close relationship. You know, it's so close that you clash. That's what I'm getting, if that makes sense. Because you're safe with each other. That's what some parent-child relationships are like, or some sibling relationships sometimes. You know, you can say things to each other, but if anyone else came in and said anything, you'd kind of jump to defend each other. That's what I'm getting. So lots of clashes. There's still love there. I'm not saying you condone everything they do. You absolutely don't do that. But the foundations are always going to be there between you. Lots of love, lots of care. They're down, deep down in there. That's what I'm getting. So yeah, you'll probably say yes to them, I think. But you might have a few conditions. Okay, the last card you have for your future is the Magician. Yeah, I'm really glad you have this. All right, so with everything else I'm seeing in this reading, I think this is about being really sharp mentally, having that piercing sharpness the Magician has, discernment as well. And yeah, you're going to need this because you'll have all these kind of personal decisions to make with these people that are coming back, very difficult decisions. I'm also seeing letting go. I know that probably sounds a bit strange, but you know, you've been working really hard. You've been trying to build things up for yourself. You've done well out of that, I think. Things have improved, especially over the last 2 to 3 years. I think that's been the time when you've really improved things in that way. So it's been a slow progression. I think because you've been concentrating on that so much, you might have lost sight of something else that you really wanted to do. There was some kind of big, I don't know whether it was ambition, it was actually some love that you had, some goal that you had, some kind of dream that you have almost, or you used to have. And I think it might relate to travel, because I think what happened was with that travel, that was a dream of yours, and you did this thing, and then you had a bad experience, and then you thought, no, I'm not going to go back there again. That's the end of that dream. That's what I'm seeing. So don't feel that way about that. Don't close that off. If this is all resonating with you, try not to associate this goal, this dream, or whatever this is with that bad time or problems, or with this ex, because I think you might have been around them at that time as well. Try and separate this from that. I think once you do that, you'll be able to see this from a lot of new different angles, and you'll be able to say, oh, actually, it doesn't just mean that to me. It doesn't mean hurt. It doesn't mean problems. It actually means happiness. It means interesting things. It means excitement. It means I can go and do this thing. I can do this. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm getting. You're capable. You can absolutely do this. You're like the Magician. So, you know, stick your head up from outside of these big heavy wands that are in the Ten of Wands, and think about all these new possibilities around this, because I think you'll be able to see this from a lot of new angles now at this time, now that you've got this Magician. You know, because the Magician sees things, he sees possibilities that a lot of other people can't see, and that's how you're going to start to see this thing. And I think it's really going to start to take off, not for a while though. I think you're really going to kind of grapple with this feeling, with this traveling, and then you'll say, oh, now I can see this from another angle. Now how am I going to do this? Okay, so the only way you're going to be able to do this is to drop some of this day-to-day work. Something's got to give somewhere. You can't do both. So I think that's what's going to make you finally do less in your day-to-day work, this magician thing. Very, very exciting. I think it's going to lead you to something very, very exciting, something you've always wanted to do. But yeah, you're going to drop not everything, but some of that first. That's what I'm seeing. I hope that all makes sense to you.